to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts, because I do things differently, because I don't go by a rule book, because I lead from the heart, not the head. And albeit that's got me into trouble in my work, I understand that. But someone's got to go out there and love people and show it.
Hello, AriTheGoddess here. I hope you all are doing well today. May this message resonate with you, and may you always use true discernment within every message. May the divine guide you and bring you the truth, the wisdom, and the clarity that is needed for your life, for your journey, and for this moment. Thank you all so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your positive energy. And thank you for your listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm smiling right now. Wow. Okay, so I just tried to make a message, right? And I just didn't let the message go through, so I just decided to start over. So as I'm closing out the other message to start this message, I looked down at my phone. It's so funny because in the message that I was just doing, I was just saying like it's 12 o'clock in the morning. I was guided to do this message, and I have something in my notes that I need to share, right? So that's what I said in the message previous before I even started this message. And I was like, you know what, let me start over. So I'm here. As soon as I try to start over, I look down at my phone and it says, I get a comment from YouTube. It says, yo, where you at? Come back, or something like that. What does this say? I don't know if it's going to try to, it says, where you at? Come back. Wow, that is crazy, because it's like, I was guided. Something was telling me that I need to go ahead and make a message. And then as soon as I was about to like let the other message go, I was going to start on another message, but it's like, just when I was about to close, this is just how I know that it's confirmation, and that how we're all just like in alignment together. And it's just, anyway, like I'm not going to get too, well, I'm already there. As I say, I'm not going to get too excited about it, but I'm already excited, because it's like I was already doing this message, and like as I was about to restart this message, I looked down at my phone. It hasn't even been 2 minutes. It says 2 minutes ago, it says, where you at? Come back. Wow. So here I am again, starting this message. At the bottom of the deck, I have here, walk your truth. But before I even get into this message, before I even get started on this message, I want to read from my notes what I was guided to speak on in this message. I got this message like a week ago. I was watching an old movie that I used to watch when I was younger, but I was guided to watch this movie again. And so I watched it last week, and it was something very powerful he said in the movie that really touched me. And it's funny because many times in my messages, especially at the very beginning of my messages, when I first started this channel, I used to talk about this. And it was just a reminder, but it was so powerful when he spoke it. The name of the movie is called Coach Carter. And it's so funny because the guy in the movie, he kept saying, what is your biggest fear? And the guy who finally, the message that I'm about to read, the guy who finally spoke on this message, every time he asked him that, he couldn't answer it. But it was like during hard times, it was like something like when was the time when was it that he finally had the message and he said it? It was towards the end. I'll just say that it was towards the end. And, you know, a lot of obstacles had happened in his life. And that's when he finally, you know, spoke about, you know, this message. And so I'm just going to give the message before I go all around the world. But it says, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine like children do. It's not in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people to do the same. We unconsciously give other people to do the same as we are liberated from our own fear. Our presence automatically liberates others. Wow, so you gotta forgive me. A lot of those were run-on sentences. I was trying to type it so fast in my phone that a lot of it were run-on sentence. I'm gonna see if I can kind of insert it. I'm gonna read it again, but I still may like try to insert it in here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I feel like I should do that. I'm still gonna insert it, but I'm gonna read it again. It says, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine like children do. It's not in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people to do the same as we are As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Wow. So I have a mic on, so you might hear a lot of rumbling. But that is very powerful. Very, very powerful. So that message may be significant. Like I said, I'm gonna put it in the video, and so that you can hear the full clip. I just saw the card patience. I'm getting like it's taking a lot of patience for you to get to where you are now. And like I said, like even with that message, even from the movie, like I said, he couldn't answer what was his fear. He couldn't answer what he feared the most every time the coach would ask him that. The coach would ask him like, I think the coach asked him 2 or 3 times before he can actually answer, to have a full answer for that, throughout the movie. And he'll look at him like he was crazy every time he had asked that question, But it's like he finally was able to answer that question once he went through the experiences he went through, and where he was able to gain the wisdom that he was able to gain so he could answer that question. So it's like that's where you are in life, maybe in this time I have self-worth out, but maybe it took patience for you to get to where you are right now. Maybe the experiences that you went through had to teach you, had to show you, you had to gain you had to learn a lot of lessons to get to where you are right now. Something significant about that. It's like you had to overcome this fear. It's like for some, you're overcoming this fear, and for others, you had to overcome this fear. So I'm getting like in many areas, you had to overcome fear. So it's like it's been depths of the fear. You've overcome fear in this area. You overcome fear in this area. You overcome fear in this area. And it's like you're slowly, that's where that patience is coming from, because you're slowly coming out of that fearful energy and stepping into more of who you are meant to be and being that light. Yeah, with self-worth here, 27 could be significant, 9 could be significant. We seeing the numbers 999. But it's like you are worthy of this. You had to go through this time, this journey of just learning your self-worth, knowing that you are worthy, knowing who you were, knowing your worth. And I think we just saw worth at the beginning, even at the beginning of the message. I believe that we just kept seeing, worth. Not kept seeing, but we saw worth. Yeah, I have here compassion. You had to give compassion to yourself. You're being guided in this time to give compassion to yourself. You're giving compassion to yourself, closing out cycles. And you know that there's hope with hope here. I have your self-worth, compassion, and hope. Or this is a reminder for someone to know that you are worthy. Have compassion for yourself and have hope. Know that there is hope. 16 could be significant. You could be seeing the numbers 1010. Yeah, with integrity here. I'm getting like throughout this journey with this patience, with you learning your worth and growing and, learning the lessons that you've learned, you've built a lot within your character as well. Your integrity has grown, you know, and it is growing. It has grown as well, you know. You've been, what do I want to say? You've been you went through a journey where you were under construction. You know, your foundations were being built. You know, before, when you build a house, you got to build a foundation first. You know, then comes the other layers of the house. And that's what I'm getting for you. It's like your foundation had to be built, or it's being built for some. And, you know, the other layers are being, you know, built around the foundation. And it's like, let's say it's a vision that you have. There is a foundation that had to be built with who you are, so that your vision, so that you can be who you're meant to be for the vision that you have for yourself. I really hope that makes sense. I'm also getting like that vision isn't just so far out there. You're already a part of the vision now. You're just becoming. So it's not like you're this separate person. It's not like you're separate from the vision. You are a walking vision. Do I want to say that? Or it's like you're already walking in your vision. You're just becoming, and you're elevating more. I really hope that makes sense. And along the way, you're building integrity. It's so much I want to say to that. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that clip at the beginning of the message. Yeah, that clip is going to be the beginning of the message. Yeah, I have here surrender and worlds within worlds. Maybe you've, it's like surrender and allow yourself to see things through the divine lens. And I'm also getting like surrender and allow yourself to see who you really are, to not be afraid of that, to not be afraid of what's within. You may be guided also in this time to have compassion for what's within, you know. Even if you feel like you're not all the way healed, or you feel like there's just so much inwardly you have to work on, I'm getting like you being guided in this time to have patience and have compassion, you know, so that what's needed, so that balance within can be there with you, you know, be there for you, so you can be in balance, so that you can be in alignment. I feel like my words are jumbling up, and this is why we started the first message. But you know, I'm gonna just keep going here. You know, I know it's meant for me to do this message. Everything is in alignment. Like I said, it's like when I first started this message, it was like 12:17. When I first started the first message, it was 12:17, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm up doing this message. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't know why I'm up, because I knew I was guided to do the message. I'm like, it's 12:17. I'm in this energy to do this message. I know it's meant. Let me go to my notes. And I started the message. Then, you know, my words was getting jumbled up. It's like I couldn't start the message how I wanted to start it. And so as soon as I stopped the video to start the video again, I see this comment and it says, "Where you at? Come back." And I'm like, wow. So to whomever that was, what's the name? So to Twigs, the Titan for that message. You know, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm grateful to know that, you know, you missed the messages, and I'm sure it's not just you that missed the messages, it's others that missed the messages as well. So thank you. I really appreciate it. It helps me to feel, it inspires me to keep wanting to do the messages. So thank you for that. We're definitely in alignment. So I'm gonna try to I was going to not post this message until like Tuesday. And it's not because I wanted to. It's just something I was guided to do, but you know, I might just go ahead and post it. It just depends. It depends on how this works out. Depends on how this works out. So I have here intuition and shadow self. I'm getting like in this time you're being guided to trust your intuition. Your intuition could be guiding you at this time. It's like, listen to your intuition. Just like how I said, like I was guided to do this message. That's an intuitive nudge. You know, how I was guided to do this message. And then next thing you know, someone message and say, come back. It's like, I'm getting in this time, like you're being guided in this time and you're getting signs, not only that, it's like, listen to what your intuition is trying to tell you about who you are, and to know that what's is on the inside. It doesn't have to be hidden. So maybe you have this shadow self with shadow self here that you're trying to hide because you want to, be perfect. And I speak to myself when it comes to this as well. It's like trying to be perfect, but not allowing that shadow to come forth and allowing everything to come forth, if that makes sense. So it's like being in fear of the shadow could be significant as well, or being in fear of the power that you do have can be significant for some, or it could be all of the above. I know for me, I can say that it's all of the above, in some areas, in some ways, because like I said, it's depths. There's things I've overcome, there's things that I've overcame, but there's still some things that I'm still working through. And that could be you as well. And it's speaking like it's like, even in the journey as you have awakened, you still have chosen to have integrity through it. And who you are and who you're becoming, even that shadow self is a part of that higher self that you've seen yourself as, that vision. I hope that makes sense. So even your higher self still have this shadow self within. So it's like, are you going to hide that away the entire time, or are you going to let that is within shine no matter what? Because it's like a reminder for you to know you're worthy to shine no matter what, no matter what is within. I hope that makes sense. I really do. I hope that really makes sense. 28 can be significant. 2 + 8 is 10. So it's like you closing out this cycle of trying to be perfect and allow, and it's also, let me get the book. I'm going to read. I want to read that. I'm going to read Shadow Self. And then I may read Worlds Within Worlds. Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others, because the world outside you is only a reflection of the world inside you. Anonymous. That was a quote. You may be wondering why you've been facing so many triggers and challenges of late. Things have been going well despite a few road bumps along the way, but the challenges that have been appearing all around you recently seem so overwhelming and disorienting. Just when you thought you had everything under control, it seems as though the world has suddenly shifted. Spirit understands your confusion and uncertainty during this period. Rest assured, dear one, this is a time of cleansing and clearing all that was avoided and hidden inside you. Healing of the worlds within is taking place, and raw emotions are resurfacing. You are exploring and uncovering the darkest shadows of yourself. This is why you are being faced with insurmountable challenges and triggers. You see, it's only from being pressured that the darker side of you surfaces. This is an important and necessary time for you. As hidden parts of you surface, be gentle. Send love and compassion to the wounded parts of yourself. If there is rage, send love. If there is hurt, send love. May love reign on all aspects of you, whether they be dark or light. This period can be quite testing, being challenged by an unforeseen events triggered by people closest to you. Through this cleansing process, your level of unconsciousness is expanding to new and heightened states of awareness and clarity. As you move through this Period. Be assured you are not alone and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Affirmation. I am healed as I acknowledge all aspects of myself. Associated chakra, base and sacral. Wow. So like I said, there's everything that I've said, all the cards that are out is what is being said in this message when it comes to the shadow self. I'm going to read Worlds Within Worlds. Worlds Within Worlds. The number 36 can be significant. 36 can be 63. 9 could be significant. Ninth month, ninth day. What's significant about that? Peace comes within. You could be seeing the numbers 999 as well. Peace comes within the souls of men when they realize their oneness with the universe. When they realize it is really everywhere, it is in each one of us. This card serves as a reminder to look within yourself for answers. It's wonderful that you're so open to the opinions of others, but be discerning. Use your inner knowing to decipher and interpret what feels right for you. Many look for the source of all life outside of themselves, but if you truly wish to connect to that greater pool of conscious love, look within. Inside you, the cosmic universe spans with inner worlds and stars. Yes, inside you. You are a master and creator of the worlds and galaxies within you. How you are as the creator ultimately affects the outer world that you are also a part of. See yourself as the greater body, and within you, the cell that always needs to hold its vibration in healthy light. You as a creative master can affect your cells or worlds by your thoughts, actions, and words. Raising the healthy light of your cells raises your own vibrational light, thus raising the planetary light as a whole. If a cell in your body is imbalanced and sick, that sickness slowly starts to spread to the rest of your body. See the earth as a cell in the body of universal energy. It is vital that the vibration of this earth is raised to positively affect the greater universal body. You are a creative God of infinite power and light. The more you come to understand this truth, the more you will be amazed by the power you hold as an individual to manifest and bring about peace and change. Affirmation. I am love, expanding and growing in power, clarity, and truth. Associated chakras, heart, third eye, and crown. Wow. So yes, I'm glad that I read Worlds Within Worlds as well. See yourself as the greater body, and within you the cell that also needs to hold its vibration and healthy life. You are a master and creator of the worlds and galaxies within you. How you are as the creator ultimately affects the outer world that you are also a part of. Wow. I'm gonna keep going. So right now you're being guided. It's time to look within and to honor that light that is within. Honor that light and dark that is within. Yes, this flew out. Loss is here. It says sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own instead of the egos. Loss is here. So I'm getting like with this loss card, because if it's on top of self-worth, I'm getting like what you're letting go. What's been lost is the older version of yourself. I'm getting like in this time you're growing, you're elevating, and you're no longer in this energy of, I wanted to hear my stomach just growl. You're no longer, and I have a mic on too, but I'm getting like you're no longer in this energy of, not knowing your worth. And even if you are in this energy, you're coming out of this energy. Like even in this energy, even if you're in this energy of not just being in this energy of knowing your self-worth, this is what's happening. or this is what you're being guided to do, to have compassion for yourself. Go within, create that balance that is within, remove those blockages that are within, so that you can know your self-worth. Yeah, you're going through an awakening in this time. With awakening here, it says lost and awakening. Yeah, like you could also, for someone, like there could have been like many awakenings that you went through when it comes to like who you are, you know. But I'm getting with this awakening, there's something like great that is happening with this awakening. You're moving the false version. You're moving the false foundation and the version of who you used to be, and you created a stronger foundation and version of yourself. I really hope that makes sense. So like I said, I was speaking of like building a house and how you need that strong foundation, and then everything else, like the different layers come. You know, maybe in the past you were this person, you weren't built off what was the truth. You had a house, but it wasn't built strong. And now that you're going through this journey, having that patience, learning who you are, learning your worth, having compassion, going inwardly, having this clarity of who you are, you're able to build this house with truth and strength and integrity. You know, you're awakening to this. Yeah, karma is here. You're closing out karmic cycles. There's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. Yeah. You're closing out karma, and that's on top of the integrity. So maybe in the past life, like there's things that you know, even this lifetime, there's things that you had to learn, gain wisdom from. You know, you had to build your character. You had to have integrity. You know, I'm getting, it could have been challenging. You know, you could have, I'm getting for someone like you could have went through experiences where people could have like really did you wrong, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and you may have wanted to get like a get back. You know, maybe in past lives you did get back, but it's something about this lifetime where you chose not to, and you chose to have integrity this lifetime. You chose to close out those karmic cycles, because maybe from lifetime you were going back and forth with these energies, you know, or you were just repeating the same thing. But it's something about you closing out that cycle and not rewriting it again, and gaining the clarity. I didn't even meant to say clarity, I meant to say integrity. But yes, clarity is true. Gaining the clarity and the integrity in this new energy. Yeah, lost, awakening, karma. Closing out karmic cycles, not just karmic cycles, but illusions. Also just about, like I said, the truth of just who you are not. And you gaining truth for who you are. Yeah, I have here energetic clearing and guidance. And you may be guided in this time to clear out your energy. It says, during crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments. Wow. Remember I said that. Remember this was at the beginning of the message. Preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Then I have her guidance. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed start to follow. So you've been guided. It's time to clear out your energy. Clarity. Clear out that energy so that you can have clarity in this time. You've been guided. It's time to surrender. And allow yourself to be divinely guided within is what I'm getting as well. I'm getting for someone like maybe I see liberation on the bottom of the deck. I'm getting for someone maybe in the past life you also may have went through something when it comes to fear. Like experiences when it came to fear, and maybe you didn't speak up for yourself, maybe you didn't speak your truth, maybe you didn't do what you wanted to do in the past life or even in this lifetime. But it's like you're coming out of that. You're awakening. You're coming out of that, and you're becoming this person, more and more of this person who you were meant to be. Yeah, with outrageous openness here, you're having a more open mind. I have here, dear love, open me to your will, release me from my attachment, surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. Wow. I'm getting like you're being guided, and it's time to be more in this loving energy. To have, yeah, like the message said in the book, have love for yourself. Send love to that energy. Wow, with worth here, tigers could be significant. I have here worth. It says you have been worthy to belong to love all alone without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Wow. And that's on intuition and shadow self. I'm also getting like you're being guided. It's time to have an open mind as you go within and see what's been blocking you or see what's been triggering you. Have an open mind when it comes to the shadow side as well. I have here surrender here twice, and love. Can't make any of this up. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest to stop trying to control the whole universe. Wow, then I have here love. Divine source is the ideal that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. Then I split the deck on individuality and flow. I'm going to read both. It says, every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. Then I have here alignment divine to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. I'm not sure if y'all can hear that dog outside. I'm not sure if y'all can hear that. But there's something about dogs as well. I just picked up before I go into that, I just picked up the deck and it landed on stories. I leave you the memory of healing tales. So there's something significant about the stories that you have that are healing, not just for you, but for others as well. There's something to do with, you being the light as well. Your stories, speaking some type of truth when it comes to your stories and your healing. There's something significant about dogs as well. It's like protection. Dogs and protection. You could be seeing the numbers like 444 as well. It's like something significant about dogs and protection. Something about like you being protected. There's something significant about like you being protected as you are awakening and you're growing and you're learning yourself. You be protected with love. I have here all potentialities, the circle of life, and the spirit of air. It says, I open the dance of synchronicities, all potentialities here. Then I have here the circle of life. I give you my blessing to accomplish your quest. So this quest is going to be accomplished. Remember I said protected. You're protected. And I have here spirit of air. A favorable wind is blowing on your life. I'm getting like, wow. Then I split the deck as speaking out and spirit of water. Your voice is released. Express yourself frankly. Return to the source of the feminine for purification. That's what spirit of water say. Wow. I'm gonna keep growling. I'm normally up around this time. All potentialities. There's something about your potential. There's something about going back to the message that we spoke about at the beginning of like what I got out of my notes. It's like you have a lot of potential. You have a lot of gifts. You have a lot of talents. And it's like whatever you thought didn't work in the past, I'm getting like it's coming to light. And that, no, it's time for it to come to light. And not only is time to come to light, it's a sign for you to know that it's time for you to start it again, or just start. Maybe you could be starting it again, or you maybe got it to start. And to know that you've been given this blessing for this to be accomplished. It's the circle of life. So you may think that you just Maybe you started something in the past, or maybe you want to start something. Just, it's a reminder for you to know that it's going to circle back around, because that's the way that it was meant to. And this is why this spirit of air here, speaking of like the favorable wind that is blowing on your life, because it's like you're favored. It's gonna work out in your favor. Yeah, with intuition, it's like trust your intuition. Intuition is here. It says intuition is the messenger of your destiny. Follow it. You're being guided, and it's time to trust your intuition and to know everything is going to work out. Something about the 19th could be significant. The 18th could be significant. The number 9 again could be significant. Let's see if I take all these cards. It's a lot of cards. You could be seeing the numbers 111 as well. A lot of cards that fell out. I just put it back in the deck. Yeah, authenticity. I open the way of truth. Wow. Something about your potential, your talents, your gifts. It's going to be opening the way of truth. You're being guided, and it's time to surrender and allow yourself to be divinely guided. Your authenticity was built off a strong foundation, or is being built off a strong foundation. I'm getting your authenticity have a strong foundation. You're being guided, and it's time to, whatever you have in this time, even if it's not with gifts, even if you don't just go do anything as far as like using your gifts or whatever you have, your talents, just being you is being authentic, and it's going to open a way of truth, because you've done something that has helped on a collective level. You've done something that not everyone has done yet, you know, and just by you doing it, it's gonna have like a huge effect. I have your vision. I give you confidence in your divination talents. Some of you all may have like talents when it comes to like divination, or this could just also just speaking about, remember I was telling you that circle of life, you being confident in this time as you go through this quest. Yeah, there's something about, you know, you stepping into uncharted territory. It says a time for renewal. Step into uncharted territory. Again, in this time, you know, you're being guided to have an open mind and surrender, because there's something about this uncharted territory that you're stepping in that is going to go in your favor. I'm getting not a lot of people are able to even be here. Not a lot of people are able to even be in this territory. And it's because of, you know, things are supposed to go in your favor in this area. I could tell y'all a story really quick. I don't think I ever told this story, but yeah, I don't think I ever told this story. Do I want to tell it? Yeah, I'll tell it. Remember, we saw stories at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so there's this place that I work at. Do you want to tell it? Okay, I'll tell it really quick. There's some things I be trying to leave out because I just don't be wanting too much of my business out. So yeah, okay. Anyway, so what I'm getting from like this uncharted territory, and I spoke about this in many messages before, but so there's this place that I work at, and to be quite honest, like when I look at it and I look back at it a lot of times, and I'm like, wow. And it's funny because gratitude on the bottom of the deck, and that's what I be having, a sense of gratitude, because it's like, wow, I'm not supposed to be here, but I am. This is kind of, I want to make the story short, but it has meaning to it. So hold on, I may have to make it long for a quick minute. So it's funny, this place, before I even worked here, I used to go to this place. So basically it's a gym, and it's not just any gym, it's a high-end gym. Like the members there have to pay almost $200 a month. And so what's funny is I used to come to this gym. I used to work out at this gym before I even start working at this gym. And it's not because I worked at this gym because I had all the money in the world to work out at this gym. It's because I wanted to, where I was in my life, I needed that so it can get me moving. Meaning, a lot of y'all know that for the last few years, I've been sleeping on. Not anymore, thank God. As of 2 months ago, I don't have this problem anymore. But on and off for the past few years, I was sleeping in my car on and off. And when I was going to this gym, that was one of the things that I was doing. I used to work at this other gym, but I worked out at this gym. I worked out at the gym that I worked at previous to this, but I will also work out here as well. Like, I'll get ready. I'll work out in the morning, get ready, and go to the other gym. And it's funny because the gym that I worked at, the paycheck that I would get, it went straight to this gym. You know, it went straight to pay for this gym just so I can go. And I know I know many of you may be like, okay, why would you spend all of that for this gym? It's because I wanted to get moving. It's like I needed to be around. It was like I was trying to put myself around people that had wealth or just had this energy, you know, so that I could like move, so I could get out this stagnant and blocked energy. Even if I really didn't have it for real, I still wanted to, you know, put that money into that. And I was still, you know, working out at my gym as well. But for the most part, I was sleeping in my car, and I just saw that as a luxury, really, to make myself feel better, you know, and not just make myself feel better, just really, it was a mental thing too. It was a energetic thing too. I was just guided to do it, basically. So, like I was saying, I was working at a gym. I was working at a gym already, but I was working out at this gym. And like I said, sometimes I would work out at my other gym, but because I was sleeping at my car, I didn't want it to seem odd, because there was different places that I have to sleep at, and I just didn't want it to seem obvious. So, because I have to, when I go to work, I would take showers. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so yes, keep going. So, in the midst of me like working out at this gym, I would tell myself, I was like, I want to work here, and so I'm like, it'll be cool if I work here. I'm going to work here. You know, I'm like, so I just was saying that to myself, you know. And so some months went by. I ended up quitting my job over there at the gym that I was working at, because I basically like couldn't, there was just so much going on. Like, I was sleeping in my car. I was with my mom, like trying to get my mom together, trying to get her situated and this and this and that. That's a story that, you know, I have to save for another video, but so that all of it can go together where it don't seem like I'm kind of choppy, I'll try to put everything in a video of like the whole story together. Like, if y'all heard some of, like, I have made messages before though where I've kind of told the story about my mom, and you know how I've kind of told the story, but hopefully I'm able to, you know, my higher self is able to put this all together where I'm able to tell this story in a way where all of it can come together, where it all makes sense, where you don't think that I'm leaving something out or not telling the truth, or, you know, because I try to leave things out because I don't be wanting too much of my business there, but by trying to leave stuff out, it can kind of look a little choppy, and I don't want that. But anyway, like I was saying, I had to quit that job because it was just a lot going on. And, you know, it was just a lot going on. And since I had quit that job, I had to stop working I stopped working out at that gym because I couldn't afford it anymore. So there was like a blank spot. And at that time I was still doing Instacart, DoorDash, and Uber. So that's what I was doing. I just went back to doing that mainly. And so something just told me to apply to that job. And something told me to apply to that job, and I did. And so what's funny, for 2 weeks I didn't hear anything. Wow, listen to me, hold on, this is about to make so much sense. I hope y'all have gotten this far. Listen. So, all right, listen. So for 2 weeks I didn't hear anything, right? So I was guided to clear out my energy. I was guided to do an energetic clearing. Just like what this message is saying now. Remember, we saw energetic clearing. Let me read the card. It says, during crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Remember, we have here spirit of air, a favorable wind is blowing on your life. Remember, we saw that. And then we have this stepping into uncharted territory. But let me keep going. So that's what I was guided to do as well. So this message, if you're listening to this message is for you. Now, forgive me if you've heard a whole bunch of words being mumbled, jumbled. I hope you still hear, okay? But listen, I was guided to clear out my energy. And when I cleared out my energy, the day that I want to say that night when I cleared out my energy like I was guided to, the next day I got a call from this job. That's not even it. Hold on. That's not even it. So the next day I got a call from this job, and it was like you got to go through 2 interview processes. So the first one I went through, I spoke with someone. Then the second one I went through, I spoke to another person, right? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm really, I'm not, it's another girl that was with me. What was funny is, and I always say stuff is funny, but anyway, what was funny is this was another girl that was with me, and she ended up not wanting the job because she felt like it's too much. And how I end up finding that out is because after I interviewed, for some reason, I end up seeing her like at Target. And I had never seen this girl prior to this. Like, I seen her at the interview. And then, like, I was at Target. I believe I was doing like an Instacart order. And I ended up seeing her. I was like, hey, how's it going? Are you excited for the interview? The next interview, she was like, I ended up not, going with it. She said, I don't think I'm going to go with it. It just doesn't seem like, she said it doesn't seem like something. I was like, okay. And like, she was giving me this weird look, but I never knew what that was. But anyway, it was funny that I saw her outside of there, and I had never seen her before prior to that, but except for the interview. But long story short, I ended up getting a job. I think I was guided to do like another clearing, right? And I ended up getting a job, but that's not it. I wasn't supposed to get that job. So the certificate, the job that I'm at, it doesn't play about your certificates, right? So the certificate that I had, you can't get into the job with the certificate. You have to have like a certain type of certification to even get in this job. I had like an old, matter of fact, outdated certification. The girl that I was with, she had a more updated certification, and it was with what they wanted. But I didn't. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that until later on. And so I get on board. I end up getting a job. They end up telling me I have it. Later on, within the job, I want to say like a week after, I remember like the guy that hired me, he was saying something like, yeah, I just need your document of your certification, this and this and that. I was like, okay, cool. So I showed him the certification that I had. He was like, this is the certification. He was like, I thought you had this other certification. I was like, no. He was like, really? He was like, I thought the other certificate, it's a certification that you're supposed to have. I believe the certification that the other girl have is what he got confused with. So she had the legit certification. I didn't. So so I guess somehow he got confused and thought her certification was my certification. So when it boiled down to me having to give my certification, I didn't have a certification, but he was like, you know what? No worries. Here in this company, you got 6 months to get it, this and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But basically, and it was a whole ramble. If I told y'all the stories when it comes to that, it was a whole like on and off thing with that too. Not on and off where I was like out the job or anything, but it was like, it was a time that I didn't feel adequate because I didn't have my certification. I felt like everybody knew. It was like, how did she get here? Like, because people had to know that I didn't have my certification because I had to step away for a while. So at the beginning, like, it kind of was ignored, but like after 2 months, 3 months, I had to step away to really get this certification because there was more things that I needed to know, and they didn't want me to be a liability on the floor not having this certification. So people like the other people that worked there knew about it, and it was like, in my mind, like how I felt that they felt was like, dang, how does she even get in here without this, because this is important. Like, they don't, like, literally, they do not even play. Like, I'm not even supposed to. Even the overall head manager, when I sat down and had like a meeting with him, he was like, if you didn't have the personality and everything that you have about yourself, remember I was telling you about this uncharted territory, renewal, step into uncharted territory. He was saying, if you didn't have the personality that you had, we would have been had a different conversation. And so what got me through is my personality. What got me through in this uncharted territory was my personality, smiling. This is these messages where I was going back. See, this is where I be saying, like, the messages that I be posting, I do outside of these messages as well. You know, I may not tell the stories, but I am guided to speak my truth more. And I'm grateful because my words are I'm learning to bring my words together, bring the stories together, bring everything together so they can make sense. Because at first, you know, my communication was kind of off, but I'm getting much, much better, especially with stories, but I'm getting much, much better. So, yeah, going back to what I was saying, like, I was in this uncharted territory, but I still have this personality that's unforgettable. Or I have this personality that, you know, lights up a room. So like the manager said, he was like, look, we'll be having a whole different conversation if you didn't, you know, basically if you weren't who you were. It was like, but I'm going to give you this was the overall head manager that said this. So that's that uncharted territory I was telling you about, like, how you can get in places, how you can be in these places and it be uncharted. You're not supposed to be there, but it's the favor. And remember, we see that with this spirit of air card is saying it's a favorable wind blowing in on your life. It's that favor. You have that favor, not saying that you're better than anyone, but just knowing that just who you are, that light that is within, and just who you've come here to be, it has to align. It has nothing to do with you trying to be better than anyone. It has everything to do with already on your life. You just have to step into that, even with the fear, because I was fearful. Like I said, I was already wondering how, you know, just thinking back, like, dang, I know they thinking, how did she get in here? Who does she think she is? How's she in here? How do y'all still have her here? And she don't even have the required certification here, you know? And, you know, I was doing everything I could not to let that fear get to me, and still had to, you know, show up and be that light and continue to be that light in this area. But I just wanted to tell that story. I really hope that makes sense. I hope the story get put together. And like I said, like, if you still rocking with me over time, the stories I know they will get better. My communication skills have gotten a lot better. I'm able to put things together the way that I need to. I'm going to just, you know, allow myself to continue to surrender for that. But I wanted to tell that story because I'm getting for someone, that's the same thing for you. You about to be in a place, a job, a neighborhood, there's an opportunity that is coming for you. There's a sponsorship. There's something that is coming for you that is very powerful, that is uncharted, that people wouldn't feel as though that you're supposed to be in. But you are meant to be there because it's supposed to work out in your favor. It's supposed to be, it's the favor that you have. It's because of the light that you have within you, and it's because of what's within you that is going to help. Because it's not just about you being better, it's who it's going to help overall. That's why it's working out for you. you know, and it's important for you to not doubt yourself or be fearful in this time. Remember this authenticity card I opened, the way of truth. It's like who you are, you're authentic, and that's what's needed in these uncharted territories. That's what's needed in these uncharted territories. Even when you feel down, even when you feel like it's not working, it's working. And I believe I said this before on the message before about it's a guy. I would be like, I'll be at work or whatever, and I always smile. Like that's just my signature now, because it's just all of what I went through. All I know how to do is like I smile from the inside out. And it's like, you know, people, when you in a different energy, when you're in a different territory and people not used to that, you know, that can stir up some problems, or not problems, but when people not used to that, they think you either up to something, or they like, who she thinks she is, this and this and that. So I had this guy, whatever, he would mug the mess out of me every time I smiled at him. And for weeks, months, I still smiled. And then it was just one moment, one time, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even about to smile at this man no more. Like I went through like a day or two. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna look his way. I'm not gonna smile at him no more. Next thing you know, and it's not smiling because I want him. It's smiling because that's, hey, greeting people, you know, with the type of, you gotta greet people. You gotta say hey to people, this and this and that. And so when I want to say the end of the week, later on throughout the week, I was talking to someone. I was about to go down the stairs, and I had saw someone, and me and her kind of was talking, like we were having a huge conversation. Not a huge conversation, but we were having a conversation, and we was about to go back down the stairs, but we stood at the top of the stairs talking. And so he was about to go down the stairs. Was he coming up or coming down? Either or. He stopped in the middle as while we were talking, and he looked at me, he was like, no, I gotta back up. No. He said it there. He was like, he was at a meeting. He's a CEO of a company, and he had a meeting, and in the meeting with all his workers, he said one of the things we talked about, and he looked at me to fill in the blank. He was like, this is how he said it. He was like, you want to know what happened? It was like, I had a meeting, and all of my coworkers, we were sitting down, and in the meeting we were talking about smiling. And he was basically trying to say me, like they had brought up like smiling, and who he had thought of was me. And so he was like, I just wanted to come tell you. He was like, keep doing what you do. And he looked at the girl. He was like, she lights up a room, doesn't she? It went something like that. And she was like, yes, she do. And he was like, yeah, at the meeting. And he looked at me. He was like, smiling was the topic of discussion. He was like, you just never know who life you will change by just smiling. And he was like, you basically was the topic of discussion. He was like, so he was like, thank you. And it's funny. And that story kind of jumble. But for the most part, I got what I needed to get out. And like I said, I think I've told this story before. So, basically what I'm saying is the same person that I thought that I was saying, like, I'm not about to keep giving my energy to this person. It ended up being a discussion in his meeting, and it ended up changing his point of view. And now he smiles. And now that's not only it changed his point of view, but he's talking amongst others about smiling and, you know, being the light of the room and just things like that. So it's like, this is why stuff have to work. This is why things are working out in your favor, because who you will reach, you know. And so this is why whoever or whatever tried to come up against you, it's not going to work. Even if you feel like it's working, or even experiences that you go through on your own, you feel like it's going to get you. It's not going to work. It's not going to, you know, you're supported. You're divinely guided. Everything is going to work out for you. So it doesn't matter the experiences you go through, you're going to get through it. It doesn't matter who try to come up against you or, try to do things out of negativity or, anything like that. This is why you're being guided to clear out your energy and continue to clear out your energy and ground yourself. So these type of energies don't come into your territory, your energy, and you got to think, when there's individuals that are meant to grow and be authentic and inspire a lot of people, if there's energies, because remember, we got karma that is out here. So you didn't just have to go through karma, or you're not like you had to close out your cycles and go through what you needed to go through. But if there's energies that are purposely, intentionally trying to cause any type of harm or get you out of your or be in your energy and try to steer you off your path, like you had to go through your karma and close out your cycles. I'm just like, I don't be wanting to put things on people, but it just is what it is. And I shouldn't be afraid to speak about that. And it's not that I'm afraid, it's just because I care about people. And you don't be wanting people to go through what you go through, but that's the only way people gonna learn and stop doing what isn't the right thing. I don't know why I was guided to say that. I don't know where that energy came from. So maybe it is something about, something spiritually or energetically could be trying to take you off your path, but from someone or something, you get what I'm saying? And if it's someone, that has to come back. It's going to come back, because you're this individual that are meant to inspire and grow many and help many. And so if there's an energy trying to keep you away from that, that's messing up the divine plan. And I'm not here to speak on punishment. I'm here to speak on lessons and to know, like each and every one. Remember, we saw that individuality card. Just like each and every one of us have to go through our own personalized earth school, and learn the lessons and go through the karma, close out the cycles we need to. That individual is going to have to learn that as well, and to learn that it's not okay. Especially that's an inward thing. That's something inwardly is going on. If you feel like you should attack someone, or feel like you should spiritually attack someone and hide your hand, or verbally attack someone, like with gossip, or physically attack, like either way, that's going to come back just so that you can learn the lesson that needs to be learned. And it's because not only because, like I said, it's not just a karma thing. It's to bring you, that individual, back to love too, to oneself, to ask the question, why are you doing this? Where is this coming from? Do you not love yourself? Do you not think you're worthy enough? Do you not think that you're worthy enough if you feel as though that you have to attack or do this to another individual? So it's going to bring, it's not just about karma, it's about love too. Do you love, do you not love yourself? I hope that makes sense. I don't even know where that part came from, but oh my gosh, I'm going to get the overall message. Wow. I'm going to just get the overall message. This is for those who are still here, thank you so much. I really hope y'all made it this far. Hardship on the bottom of the overall deck. I just saw it on the bottom of the deck. I'm like, money on the bottom of the deck. All right, let's see. Let's get 4. But yeah, I hope everything that I said so far, it makes sense. I know it's going to reach whomever it's needing to reach. And I know whomever is meant to hear this whole message, they're going to hear this whole message. I know you are. Despair. Despair has come out. Solitude. Get 2 more. Maybe 3. Confidence. I knew it. I knew. We have five cards. Abundance and travel. So I have despair, solitude, confidence, abundance, and travel. Despair. I need your divine intercession right now. Oh, great spirit, lift this darkness from my soul. Free me from this burden. Open me to your highest plan. May I be a peaceful vessel for your love. Solitude. Once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. Confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, O love. Grant me courage I never knew I had. Abundance. Divine beloved, please show me how to feel fully deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance. Travel. Let every part of this trip unfold in harmony. May divine order arrange and handle every detail. I'll be guided easily and follow the leads as they are shown. Wow, I really hope that this message resonated with you all. If you got here this far, thank you so much. Sending you so much love and light, and you get it through the lens. Thank you.
They see me as a threat of some kind. And I'm here to do good. I'm not a destructive person.
Why do they see you as a threat?
I think every strong woman in history has had to walk down a similar path, and I think it's the strength that causes the confusion and the fear. Why is she strong? Where does she get it from? Where is she taking it? Where is she going to use it? Why do the public still support her? When I say public, you go in and do an engagement and there's a great many people there.